sports fans. It's time for the latest in sports. But with who? Channel 2's Stu Clyde-Tenick, you say? Not Stu Clyde-Tenick. Channel 4's Al Ackerman, you say? Not Al Ackerman. Channel 7's Steve Garagiola, you say? Not Steve Garagiola. Channel 9's Fred Smith, you say? Not Fred Smith. ESPN's Lou Palmer, you say? Not Lou Palmer. That's right. It's Back Porch Video Sports producer, director, Frank Audia. Dearborn, here's your sports.
Frank Audia for Back Porch Video Sports. The Detroit Tigers entered today, leading the second-place Toronto Blue Jays by 6 games. Surprised by the short gap? Consider this. The Tigers, before today, were 3-7 in their previous 10 games, compared to a 7-3 mark by the Jays over the same stretch. Today, though, the Jays fell to Seattle 8-4, increasing the Tiger lead to 6.5 games as Detroit entered play against the Texas Rangers at Arlington Stadium this evening, sending Dave Rozema to the hill against Texas's Danny Darwin. Tonight, in the 6th, the Tigers have a 4-2 lead over Texas. If the Tigers win, they will hold a more comfortable 7-game lead over the Toronto Blue Jays. Game 3 of the series tomorrow in Texas. The Tigers send 6 players to the All-Star game Tuesday night in San Fran. We will have a look at those 6 players and the other starters from the American and National League later in this broadcast. Now let's take a look around the major leagues and see how the other teams fared today. Can we see the scores, please? Thank you. Seattle, as we told you, over Toronto 8-4. California and Boston, some rain. Kansas City and Baltimore playing 2. Baltimore took the first one, and in the nightcap, Baltimore 6-0 over KC. In the 5th, Chicago over Cleveland 4-0. In the 5th, also, Oakland over Milwaukee 8-0. In New York, the Yankees over Minnesota 9-3 that game in the 5th. In the National League, these are finals. Atlanta over Philadelphia 5-2. San Fran over the Cubs 7-2. In the 8th, Houston and Montreal tied at 2, and in the 6th, the Mets over the Reds 12-2. These 2 games, St. Louis and Los Angeles, Pittsburgh, and the Pods just getting underway. In Wimbledon action, women's singles final today pitted Martina Navratilova, seeded first, against number 3 seeded Chris Evert Lloyd. Navratilova defeated Lloyd, capturing her 5th Wimbledon crown and 3rd in a row. Martina had this to say about her victory.
It's easy. It seems easy when you do it, but you know, when I first came out here, I just can't imagine doing something like that, and I'm just really overwhelmed.
The men's singles finals getting underway tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. with number 1 seeded John McEnroe facing number 3 seeded Jimmy Connors. NBC, that's Channel 4 here in Dearborn, will broadcast live from London. In USFL action, conference finals will decide who advances to the 2nd USFL championship title game. The Western Conference title game features the LA Express versus the Arizona Wranglers. That's tonight at 11:30. And the Eastern Conference title game highlights the Birmingham Stallions and the Philadelphia Stars. That's tomorrow at 2:30 live on Channel 7. This Tuesday, Major League Baseball holds its annual All-Star game. Here is a list of starters from both leagues. Tigers, Lance Parrish holding the duties down behind the plate at first base. Undeserving starter Rod Carew of California. Tigers, Sweet Lou Whitaker elected to play second. Cal Ripken of Baltimore edges out Trammell. For shortstop, George Brett of KC playing the hot corner for the American League. Outfielders include Tiger Chet Lemon, Yankee Dave Winfield, and California's Reggie Jackson. In the National League, Gary Carter of Montreal will catch. Steve Garvey, top voter in the National League, at first. Ryan Sandberg batting .342 for the Cubs at second. Ozzie Smith of the Cards at short. Philly Mike Schmidt at third. The outfield includes Tony Gwynn of the Pods, Darryl Strawberry of the Mets, and Dale Murphy of the Atlanta Braves. Other Tigers picked by American League manager Joe Altobelli include the 2 pitchers Jack Morris and Willie Hernandez, and Tigers shortstop Alan Trammell. Jack Morris would probably start Tuesday night's All-Star game, but he is pitching tomorrow against the Rangers. He won't have enough rest to start. Richard Dotson of the Chicago White Sox will probably start. Morris will see some relief action. I'm Frank Audia. That's it for Back Porch Video Sports. Special thanks to my director, Len Russell, and my audio graphics man, Alan Redmer.